Welcome to part 10 of the video series on Spoken English Fluency 2.0, where we claim that you can master spoken English fluency and you can master spoken English in just 21 days. Yes, you heard me right. I'm talking about just 21 days. It will take you not more than 21 days to master English as a language if you follow whatever advice we have been giving through this video series. This is part 10 of the video series, and today we'll be trying to kill all the fears, 100% of your fears that you have about English, and we'll give you a particular method towards the end of the video which you can use to learn English in a way as if you play a video game, and you can understand how making learning fun can increase your speed of learning English very fast. That is the idea of this particular video. Stay with me as I keep on guiding you through the presentation and telling you the tips and tricks how you can convert this entire language learning problem into a game so that you can master it very fast. So let me start with this particular quote from Alfred Mercier. He says, "When we learn with pleasure, we never forget. If something is forced onto us, we will forget it. But when we learn something with pleasure, we never forget." And that is the best part of it. Now imagine the games which you play. Imagine the Blue Whale game. It motivated so many of the younger people to commit suicide. The game was so addictive in nature. It was a game. There were tasks that used to come. People used to cut their hands with knives or some kind of a pointed thing, and then they used to commit suicide as the last attempt because the game was so engaging. Imagine if studies could get engaging like that. Imagine the PUBG game. Blue Whale is a wrong example to set over here, but imagine the PUBG game. People can play the game again and again for hours and hours together. But compare that with English learning. You have books, you have your exercises. Imagine you doing your exercises for hours and hours. You will get bored because that is the non-traditional way of learning. So how do you improve, or how do you change your outlook towards learning so that you can keep on learning at a very fast rate? How can you change the particular way in which you can start learning English as a game? That is the idea. A problem is when a student starts to learn English, he will leave the process midway because the student will not be able to handle initial hesitation, the initial embarrassment that comes, and the initial failures that comes naturally along the process of learning English. He will not be using good amount of words, he will not be good in grammar, he will be using small sentences, he will be hesitating a lot in the initial level, he will not be able to speak with the correct pronunciation. All these things will ensure that he will leave the process midway. Compare the same person when he starts playing a game. When he starts playing a video game, the student has a very different attitude. The same student who had left the English learning process has a different attitude while he plays the video game. When he's playing the video game, can absorb failure. He will then keep walking even if he has failed multiple number of times. He will restart the game again and again when he has been thrown out of the game. When he has lost the particular game, even then he will re-log in and replay that particular game. So there is a problem with the attitude, and if we can solve this particular attitude problem, you can help increase your English learning at a very fast rate. Now let me give you a particular story. This is Mariana Pascal's story. You can search Mariana Pascal on YouTube. An amazing presentation she has given, and she tells a particular story of how turning your learning into a video game can improve your learning by 100 number of times. You can immediately improve your English skills if you just convert your learning into a sort of a video game. Now Mariana goes to a particular internet cafe. There was some problem with her computer. She goes to a particular internet cafe and she sees some kids playing. Imagine the green t-shirt kid over here in the picture is playing. For the first time in his life, he's playing a particular game. And there are some people, some of his colleagues, some of his friends who are standing besides him and who are trying to help him, trying to guide him how to play. The green t-shirt guy is the first time in his life he's playing that particular game. Now he will keep on failing, he will keep on falling down, he will keep on losing the match again and again. But the idea is that these two supporters, these two students, these two friends of his will not let him down, will always keep on prompting, go ahead, you can do it, you are the best, ek bar aur kar lo, and then you will be done. And because of this kind of motivation environment that he is getting, he will keep on learning and he will keep on repeating the process. He will keep on failing, yet he will go again and play the particular match, and probably in a certain period of time he will learn that after some amount of failure, after 100 failures, after 10 failures, he will start playing the game like a pro. After certain amount of practice, he will start playing the game like the best player in the world. So what has changed? The problem remains the same, but the attitude of the learner, the attitude of the player is changed. So if you can just change this particular attitude, if you can remove fear from your mind, if you can treat your learning as a game, as a video game, then suddenly you will find increased amount of motivation, increased amount of growth in your spoken English or English fluency skills. Now let me give you a practical demonstration from my life. My son Akshat was 2 years old when he started playing these two games with absolute perfection. He used to play and he used to score a score which even I was not able to get. My 2-year-old scoring on Subway Surfers and Temple Run a very high score. Problem with him, what was his take on failure? Basically, whenever he used to fall, whenever he used to lose that particular match, when the police used to catch him, or in the Temple Run when he used to fall, he did not consider that to be failure. He did not have any understanding of what is the meaning of failure at that point of time. He simply thought that there is some technical problem with the particular machine, and he kept on tapping on the phone again and again. Even if he failed, he would press OK and he would restart that particular process again, because at that point of time he did not understand the meaning of failure. And that was a boon for him, because we as adults, we as grown-ups look at failure in a very negative sense, and that is the problem. We keep on failing and we stop the process midway. For a young child, he did not understand that he was failing. He just thought there is a technical problem with the mobile or technical problem whatever the game is, and he kept on continuing. And because he kept on continuing, not losing hope, he reached a score which I was not able to reach. So that happens even with language learning. Look at kids when they start talking. They are absolutely fearless. They don't understand the meaning of fear. Why should they be fearful for? Without book, without textbooks, without exercises, without any kind of grammar lessons, without any kind of vocabulary lessons. We have discussed in earlier videos. The link I'll be providing to you over here on the top. These kids learn by observing, listening, repeating, shadowing and mirroring. And they have their parents who are very supportive at that point of time when they are learning the language. And because of it, because they are fearless, because they do not understand fear, because they have a different view on fear, they learn the language very fast. We have discussed it in an earlier video. You can go watch that particular video. The link I'll be providing you on the top. Now, why do we fear? Why do grown-ups fear a lot? Problem is that society over a period of time keeps on finding faults with us. They keep on telling us do this and do not do that. This is right, that is wrong. The society keeps on asking us not to do certain amount of things. Apart from the society, when we go to school, our teachers also keep on remarking us with bold, underlined, red ink. Now suppose if you have scored 70% in a particular examination, what does it mean? It means that you now know 70% more than what you had known last year, right? But in the school, they will mark in bold and red ink pinpointing the mistakes that you have made. They will point out that 30% you do not know. They will not focus on the 70% that you know. They will tell you, they will keep on telling you you do not know 30%. Look at other children who have scored 80%, look at other children who have scored 90%. And because this red ink keeps on striking in your brain that you are not good enough, the society keeps on finding faults with you, teacher keeps on finding faults with you, and that happens over a period of 15-20 years of your learning life. You start hating failure. You do not understand that failures are very, very important. Now, killing all the fears the Google way. This is a very important case study that you must know how Google kills all the fears inside of its employees, and how killing all the fears of the employees, Google has become the number one company in the world. In terms of brand equity, Google today is $120 billion company and counting. It is increasing on a daily basis. Why? Google rewards failures. Google rewards failures because it knows that if failure will not be rewarded, people will stop innovating. Many of the biggest discoveries that Google has made in terms of new products, in terms of new technology, has come through failing again and again. It knows if it makes the employees look like stupids every time they try something new and fail, its R&D department will stop functioning. So Google promotes its employees to fail. I'm again repeating this particular sentence because it is important. Google rewards its employees for failing, because failure is very, very important. You have to just change your mindset about things. Now, if Google stopped failing, they have many a times given their employees good amount of salary and bonuses for failing, because Google knows that if it puts a brake on Google's failing rate of its employees, it can put the brake on Google's competitiveness and innovation. Google will no longer be number one in the world if its employees stop failing. Failing is very, very important, because through failure you learn a lot. You learn what is the right way of doing it and what is not the right way of doing it through failures. So failures are very, very important. This is what Coca-Cola's chairman and CEO Muhtar Kent has to say about failures. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Just don't repeat the old mistakes once again. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Just don't repeat them, is what the CEO of Coca-Cola has to say. Now, there is a concept of failing fast. You have to keep on trying and trying again and again until you reach your success. This is a concept which is used in most of the corporations in today's time. When you grow up, when you join a particular startup, if you wish to work for Google, if you wish to work for the best technology companies, then this is the mantra that they use in their companies. Failing fast. You have to keep on trying and trying and trying and trying, keep on failing and failing and failing, and ultimately you have to reach success. Because success is not a linear curve. Success you will not reach immediately. It takes a good amount of failures. Let me tell you, give some statistics about startups. 96% of the businesses fail within 10 years. 96% of businesses fail. Means only 4 will survive out of 100. 100 companies had started, only 4 will be alive after 10 years. Still, entrepreneurship is rocking. Do you know why? Because just look at the rewards. Founded in 2009, WhatsApp was bought by Facebook in 2014, just after 5 years, for $19 billion. That is what motivates the startups. That is what motivates the companies. Because after failures, after multiple amount of failures, if you can succeed one time, you will hit it very, very big. Look at WhatsApp. They were, in just 5 years, became a company from 0 to $19 billion, and today it is the number one messaging app in the world. Why? Because they kept on repeating what was right and kept on removing what was wrong. They kept on failing again and again. They kept on failing fast. So similarly, when you are starting with your language learning journey, you have to understand that success is 99% failure. Success you will get only when you have failed 99% of the times. Soichiro Honda, this is founder of Honda. This is what he has to say about success and failure. You will succeed only when you have failed enough number of times. So do not fear failure. Now let me give you a formula for failing fast and learning fast. Now Brian Tracy is one of the motivational speakers, author of many good books on motivation and self-development. He, after spending 30 years of studying, researching, writing and speaking, he asks his people, whoever comes to him, to become the best salesman in the world. He has a formula that he gives it to them. For any person who wants to become the best salesman, who goes to Brian Tracy, he gives him a particular formula. He says, go and maintain a logbook of failure. Go write down a diary of your failures and do it on a daily basis. He says, go earn your failures. Go to the market, go and fail and come back, write it in the diary. Go make plenty of failures. He further says, go pat yourself on the back. Go motivate yourself on the back that yes, today I have earned 9 failures out of 10. Yes, you have failed 9 times. Congratulate yourself. Yes, I have made 9 failures today. Because let me tell you, after some time, it will just take a few dedicated 15 days, 20 days, 1 month, 2 months, and beyond that you will start seeing that the failure rate is now declining and you will start getting successes, small successes at a time, but you will start getting successes after you have failed multiple number of times. This is Brian Tracy's formula. He says to his salesmen, to the interns, he says, remove the word ego for the first 15 days, for the first 20 days when you are going to earn these failures. When you're going and you're failing, remove the word ego, because ego is the biggest problem. You feel people will laugh, you feel you'll be embarrassed, they will turn you down, they will look at you in a very negative way, and these are the thought processes. This is the ego, the self-esteem that you have is stopping you from learning the language, from becoming the best in any particular vocation that you're trying to become. And Brian Tracy's formula is maintain a diary of failures. Go fail on a daily basis, because rule is success is 99% failure. Beyond a certain point of time, you will stop failing and you will suddenly become a success. Suddenly, that will happen overnight, but you have to keep on failing. Now, I agree that English is not a cakewalk. When you have started, you will fall multiple number of times. You cannot allow small errors and frustration, embarrassment. There will be a lot of embarrassment. There will be a lot of errors that you will be making. Your grammar is not proper. You will be having problems with vocabulary. You will be having problems with pronunciation. People will look at you from a different angle. But let me tell you, these are the moments that you must write it down. You must jot it down. You must make a note of all those failures. Now let me give you a formula once again. You have to understand, whenever you fail, fail fast. Like Google, fail fast. Like the startups, fail fast. The moment you increase your speed of failing beyond a certain point of time, you will stop failing. You will immediately become a success. Whenever you fail, fail fast. Learn that you fail as many times as possible in the shortest possible time. Suppose you keep on failing for a period of 6 months. Don't do it for 6 months. Fail today. Fail 20 times a day. Fail 100 times today. Because beyond a certain amount of failure, success is waiting for you. So if you can just increase your failure rate, whenever you fail, fail fast. Learn your lessons quickly and then strike again. Learn your lessons quickly, fail, learn your lessons quickly, and then again start. And that is the mantra for success. So how do you use this particular formula, Brian Tracy's formula, in your learning the language? Set a target for a daily basis. You are a starter, you are a beginner, you want to improve a particular skill, you want to improve your language skill, set a target. Say 20 a day. You make a mental count of 20 failures on a particular day. Pronunciation failures, grammar failures, vocabulary failures, people laughing at you, people embarrassing you, you feeling hesitated, your brain going numb, you totally getting blank in situations. Count all those as a failure and keep writing and make a target. Say that you will fail 20 times a day and still you will keep on continuing. Just change the way the game is playing. Do not go to sleep. The best part, do not go to sleep if you have not made 20 failures a day. And let me promise you, once you just change this particular mindset, once you just change this particular attitude of yours, your success is waiting for you. Just think about this particular kid who was playing, he was failing, but he was not looking at failing as failing. Remember the story I told you about my son who did not look at failure as failure. He was just thinking there's some technical problem. When you look at a particular failure as failure, you will stop. But once you look at a failure as a learning opportunity and know the fact that beyond a certain amount of failures, your success is waiting for you, your entire attitude will change and you will learn the language immediately, very, very fast at an amazing rate. Just imagine, treat English as a particular game where if you fail 1,000 number of times, beyond that your success is waiting for you. Are you ready to fail for 1,000 times? If you can, yes, you're going to crack it. You're going to make a very, very fast entry into becoming a very good English speaker. A very good spoken English is waiting for you when you fail for 1,000 times, when you fail for 2,000 times. And when you're failing, fail very, very fast. Don't take 10 years, don't take 5 years, don't take 3 years to fail. Fail today. Fail. Set your target very high. Fail 100 times a day and still walk, still continuing to doing whatever is right for you. And beyond that, you will be seeing your English is improving in an amazing way. Now that is the end for the presentation for today. If you have not liked this particular page, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe. And if you have not visited the playlist, go and visit the playlist. It contains amazing resources, amazing tips, tricks and myth busters which can help improve your English spoken skills and English fluency. All these concepts I have researched over a period of 5 years, and the link I'll be providing of the book that is there on this particular topic which I have compiled. It has taken me 5 years to research all these topics. So please go visit, watch the playlist, watch the particular book. It's available on Amazon Kindle, and you will realize that English is very, very easy. Only what is needed is your change in your attitude. Keep failing and fail fast, and at the end of your failures, success is waiting for you. Good English, good spoken English, good English fluency is waiting for you. It was a pleasure interacting with you. Thank you so much.